Let's start off with the six functions of trigonometry. So for that, I'll make a right angle triangle. Let's name the triangle as PQR, right angle at Q. The side opposite the 90 degrees is the largest side and it is the hypotenuse, right? And let's name this angle as theta. So if this is theta, this will be 90 minus theta. If you add all the three angles, you will get 180. Now let's start off with the first function of trigonometry, or I should say the first ratio. So that is sine. We write it as sin. So sine of theta. The sine of theta is always opposite side, opposite upon hypotenuse, right? So opposite side. So theta, this is theta. The side opposite to theta is PQ. That is PQ, and hypotenuse is PR, right? So in some books, you'll also find instead of opposite, they would write perpendicular, perpendicular upon hypotenuse. The second function is cosine. We'll always write this as cos of theta, and this is adjacent upon hypotenuse. So adjacent side is QR, the side adjacent to theta, and hypotenuse is PR. So again, in some books, instead of adjacent, they'll write base. Why? Because for theta, this is the base QR, and this is the perpendicular PQ, right? Now these two are the basic ratios, the fundamental ratios of trigonometry. Using this, we'll get four more ratios. So those ratios are known as derived ratios. So the next ratio which we get from sine and cosine, if you divide sine and cosine, you will get the third ratio, which is tangent. And we write it in short form as tan of theta, that is opposite upon adjacent, or you can say base, you can say perpendicular upon base. So opposite upon adjacent, that is PQ upon PR, tan theta. So tan theta can also be written as sine theta upon cos theta. You can clearly check from here. So these are the three ratios. Now we'll take the reciprocal of all the three ratios. So the first reciprocal I'll take is cot, which is known as cotangent. So cotangent can be written as cot theta. Cot theta is adjacent upon opposite. So that is PR upon PQ, which is cos theta upon sine theta. The next reciprocal I'll take is for cos. So the reciprocal of cos is secant, and I'll write this as sec theta. So sec theta will be hypotenuse upon adjacent, which is PR upon QR, or I can say this is 1 upon cos. And the last one would be cosecant. So cosecant is cosec theta, and that would be hypotenuse upon opposite, which is PR upon PQ, or I can say this is 1 upon sine. So these are the six ratios. So these four are the derived ratios because they are derived actually from the first two ratios, sine and cosine, and sine and cosine are your fundamental ratios. So whenever you calculate the values of sine, cosine, or any of the other ratios, the answer will never have units. Why? Because it's a ratio. So units would not be there in the answer. Most of the times you leave the answer as fraction or decimal depending upon how the question has been asked. So in the next lecture, we'll check the applications of these six ratios and the trigonometric identities. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.